Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Promise Resource Network. The adventure tonight is Adventures in Recovery, the festivities of it. I'm glad y'all are here tonight. I'm glad my friend Lisa's here, wherever she is. But this is a new and exciting thing we got going on. Adventures in Recovery. What we want to do is bring the adventure to you, bring the understanding of the festivities of recovery. I wanted to read I always start with a definition because I love words and I like to know what they mean. So the definition of adventure is engage in hazardous and exciting activity, especially the exploration of unknown territory. Isn't that cool? The hazardous part of it doesn't appeal to me, but I mean, it is a part of recovery. It's where we've come from, right? And sometimes we go through those things, but the rest of it, exciting activity, especially the exploration of new territory. All right, that's what we want to do. We want to talk and we want to share about how we got here, how we're doing what we're doing, right? So I've got Miss Lisa Kay on tonight, and she is a very dear person in my life. And I'm so glad that she agreed to be my first victim tonight. So, yes. We're going to have a lot of folks on. We're going to have a lot of folks with all kinds of stories. That's our hope, that we can find people from every aspect of recovery, not every aspect of recovery, but as many aspects of recovery as we can. So hopefully you can hear your story, or you can hear some hope. How do you want to start off, Lisa?
Well, I think let's just chat it up a minute, because this was a brain child. It was one of those things where we were sitting there thinking about what we could bring that would be fun and different, and you came up with the adventures in recovery, because it surely is adventure yeah. For sure. And I'm just excited that we got you to at least agree to do a couple in the month of December, some evening offering. So we'll do it tonight, and I think it's the 22nd.
22nd,
yeah. So we're going to see how it goes. But Sharon, you are really the most loved and sought after facilitator for Promise Resource. Not too many people in the recovery community have not crossed your path, and the 7 years I've known you, that's definitely the thing about it. But getting you on at a 6:30 hour, we always see Miss Sharon during the daytime, and
but I'm awake. It's amazing that I'm awake at this time is the thing.
I know. So we're trying to explore Sharon to see what kind of things that she can do in the evening hours. We wanted to see what she looked like in the evening, and she's still the same, of course.
Yeah,
but we're excited. We're excited about it, and I know that Sharon, Sam, and I are going to, and others in our department. The recovery hub, and even our drug treatment team, we're all about it, right? Mm-hmm. So we are going to, all of us, dig in deep and just help Sharon find these unique folks who are brave to come on and share their adventures in recovery. Yes. Because they surely are adventurous, that's for sure. To inspire hope, different perspectives, kind of see what others are doing, inspire us to maybe try new things, right? So yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
I'm up for the adventure too. Yeah. I can't wait to see where this goes.
Yeah, it'll
be
good.
Excited about it.
Yeah, we just started a class this week that I led, or tried to lead, but folks that come to Promise Resource, they just kind of we all just in there together, chopping it up, having great conversation. We're not these big old facilitators, beating stuff in people's heads. It's really great conversation, but it's called Tell Your Tale. and it was really about, would somebody want to follow you in recovery? Would somebody want your recovery? So we at Promise Resource, Sharon is ahead of this, but she just leads us in such a great way. And Sharon, we appreciate that, because I love coming up with unique names for classes. And so everybody got a kick out of Tell Your Tale. Would somebody follow your tail in recovery? Because nobody wanted to follow us when we wasn't in recovery. Nobody wanted our life outside of recovery, that's for sure. But would they want to follow you now?
Oh,
yeah.
That new territory that we're going to explore.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah.
We got some folks on. We got Mika in the house.
Oh, Mika.
And Holly's here. And Aaron, thank you. Good
Aaron
to see
P.
you guys. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I'm gonna ask Lisa some questions just to get it rolling. And Lisa, I can't tell you how grateful I am to you for being the first one on here and helping me get comfortable with a night class. So I appreciate that so much.
You're welcome. You're a champion.
What made you decide to change your life?
I guess the day you walked in my office about 5 years ago and said, "You got to do something. You're losing your. Can I cuss? You're losing your SHIT. We got to talk." And I think that seeing someone, my work family is so important to me, and you had shown me so much around recovery. But I think the day that, because you watched me for a while spin out of control, I could come in and I could lead the hub, and I could lead classes, do supervisions, but you're very observant, but you would see when I would slip away. You would see when I would go to the rescue of the first love of my life, which is my son Joe. And you came to know Joe and love Joe, and you watched me almost disintegrate right in front of you. And you were the main one that kept your eye on me, because you've been in recovery 1,000 years. And, you knew a mess when you saw it, and I could put makeup on, throw my hair up, and try to put on a fake smile, but you saw that I was dying inside, and you were brave enough to step in and just said, let's talk. And so your compassion for me, your ability to speak recovery, and I saw something in you I wanted, right? And I didn't want to be out of control anymore. So that woke me up that day. And I always give you credit for that. And you are the one that, because you knew my story, you knew, you had watched when I didn't even know anybody was watching. You're the one that said, let me tell you about Al-Anon. And you told me about the organizations that are out there for mamas like me. That you saw the codependency, you saw the destruction, you knew exactly what was going down. And you're the one that kind of opened my eyes. And I really needed something different. And I trusted you. And I said, what the heck? Let's go.
I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to see you, to really see you and be a part of just your unique journey. I'm so glad I got to be part of that. Kind of the beginning of recovery, where we're all kind of a little messy, a little clueless, but you were determined. I don't know that I know anyone as determined as you, Lisa.
Thank you.
And that day I came in your office, it was out of love. It was out
Mhm.
of love, and that's one thing that the adventure of recovery has allowed me to learn. To be able to.
You weren't scared of me. Um, so many people in my life are scared of me. Well, were very scared of me, or I intimidated them because this was my son. And
Yeah.
I would cuss your butt out and tell you where to stick it, that you were going to tell me how to mother my boy. And
Hmm.
you weren't scared of me. And I needed someone brave. Everybody else tiptoed around me because I'm sure I was pretty scary at times. I did some wild and nutty things around trying to save my baby. And we won't tell all of it, but I'm surprised that I'm still alive. And you weren't scared of me, and you're just not usually scared of anything, Sharon. And I thank you so much for coming in there and taking that risk. That one or two things were going to happen. All right, but I appreciate you not being scared of me and speaking the
Yeah.
truth. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what gave me that bravery except for my higher power because I'm pretty much a chicken. So hey, let's see who we got. We got Eric. We've got Aaron. Eric says recovery is beautiful, but even more special when it's family that leads.
Mm,
The best hearts. That
exactly.
is. We lead
Exactly.
each other. We don't drag. We don't push. We walk beside all of us. That's what works. That's
Exactly.
what works for human beings. I don't care who you are.
Exactly.
Uh, what attracted you to recovery? What was it that made you want to take this step outside of misery?
Mm.
What attracted you to this?
Well, I knew recovery could happen because I worked in it. And
Yeah.
from staff members to peers, folks that we were supporting, I was supporting people that were far more along in recovery. I couldn't even spell recovery. And I didn't even think I was a person that needed recovery, right?
Yeah.
Um, in that aspect. But what attracted me is I saw joy, true joy. I saw people that had as much pain, and it sometimes had more pain than I was carrying, still functioning. And so when I got into the recovery rooms, I began to see fellowship. And I
Mhm.
heard some stories, but it was most about resilience and getting their life back, and it was all about them. And I began to realize that I had to love myself again, and I had to decide where I stopped and my son began, and it was going to take some time. But I met other eagle mamas. That's what I call myself, an eagle mama. So I will take you out of this world with my babies. But my babies are grown, and I'll still take you out of this world. But I saw eagle mamas that said, "Girl, I know exactly what you're going through," and shared some of their stories with me in the recovery room, just one on one, not in the group setting, because they don't allow us to do that in a group setting, you know. But I began to see that I could still be an eagle mama, but I could love Lisa, and I could define myself other than an eagle mom, and that I had there more parts to me, and that was I willing to give all that up when it wasn't helpful at all anyway. So what attracted me was the most beautiful people I ever met in my life, other than the champions at PRN. I finally was outside of PRN in a whole new world where I was just Lisa.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't Miss Lisa, Lisa K, Mama Lisa. I wasn't any of that. I was just Lisa. They didn't know me from nobody, and they just poured love into me, and I wanted what they had.
It is a beautiful thing when you see that joy in someone.
Mm,
And that's, I always say, if you know someone, if you love someone who you think would benefit from recovery, be happy. All you got to do is be happy, and they will be attracted to that.
mm,
Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants joy. Um, almost everybody. You can't say everybody, but I love I love that we get to go to a place where we're just us.
Yeah.
Where I don't have to put on, where I don't have to be on all day with all the answers. You know, that's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. We got Sean. Holly says, yes, I tended to spread myself too thin on top of my health challenges. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We do that.
Yeah.
We do that.
We do. Sean
Sorry,
says,
messing with you.
you can't believe I'm mean sometimes. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. Aaron says, replying to Sean, Sean, it's a it's a
Feisty.
feisty old thing. It is. That's when I was out there drinking and doing all I was doing, I moved in with a girl. And when it came time for me to understand what recovery was about, I went to her because she got sober about 6 months before I did.
Mm.
I knew where to go,
Mm-hmm.
right? So part of the adventure is about finding those people who have what you want so they can show you where to go to get it,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's only because I had been through hell, I could recognize people going through hell, you know?
And here I was.
And there you were,
There I was.
looking all pretty, dragging hell about you.
Exactly.
But it's an amazing thing to just be able to share that light in us.
Mm.
You know, it truly is a light that shines through all of us, but especially those of us in recovery. It's a new life. It's a new way to look at things. And that's what attracted me to recovery, that joy.
Yep.
Like Lisa said, that not constant, because like it says, it's hazardous. We get into some shit.
Yeah, we do.
But okay, let me tell you, this 6:30 adventure, you're going to have to get used to me drinking out of my big cup and cussing, because as Lisa knows, profanity is my second language. So having fun is the deal here. Having fun
Absolutely.
is the deal.
Because recovery is fun. So, yeah.
It is. People don't believe that, do they?
Mm-mm.
They think you're just going to sit at home, rocking in a rocking chair, watching Jeopardy.
No, I've gotten into some trouble in recovery. I have, because I've gotten real free. And plus I'm an old woman, so I'm getting a lot freer, because what are they going to do? What are you going to do with an old person, right? So,
well, yeah.
so yeah, I'm getting real free with whatever is in my heart and mind, just comes out the mouth. And, so I've gotten a little bit of trouble for that, but it is freeing to be able to express ourselves and not look behind ourselves, and know we stand on our own truth, for sure. Yeah.
And be heard.
Yeah.
And be heard for some of us for the first time.
Exactly.
And that's one of the greatest gifts in recovery that I've received, being heard and being seen.
Exactly.
By people who I know love me and have my back, right? Yeah. And God, do we love? I mean, people in recovery are disgusted. It's all over them. They can't do anything without love.
That's right.
It just rolls off us.
That's
and
right.
Part of that is what attracted me to that love I saw in my friend for this new life she had. Right. um, for this new way of life.
Yep.
So that attraction, I do believe it has to do with simply being happy.
Mm-hmm.
Simply being happy in recovery draws people to us.
Yep.
I love this. You know, those of you that know me know I love to talk about recovery because it just, I mean, it's my favorite topic. And I am so grateful to be where I am today. Not that I am anywhere special outside of PRN, but just the journey,
Yeah.
just the journey to this way, you know. And it has been hazardous, and it's been exciting,
Yeah.
right? Um, what is that excitement now that you have in your life, Lisa? Is there anything that recovery has excited you about?
Oh, absolutely. When I was unwell, I didn't do anything but um, run around like an eagle, trying to save the day, um, and work. And so up all night, wringing my hands, worried, trying to figure out, second guess my son, and what he was doing, where he was at, and all those things. Um, so finding myself in recovery and being in that recovery community, um, and just falling in love with me again and starting to discover who I was. That's where I really got into my painting, furniture, and I really took on this thing about rescuing. And so instead of running around trying to rescue Joe, um, I decided to rescue something that represented me. And so I would take furniture. I did a rescue garden where plants, at Walmart, they're about to throw them out. You can get them for, a dime a piece, and nobody, they're about to go to the trash. I would buy them all. And I planted this beautiful recovery garden. And of course, after I planted it, it looked dead. But I knew, so did I. And all I needed was water, recovery water. I needed someone or somebody, a group, whatever, to just love on me. And that's exactly what I did with those plants. And so that when spring came, these plants that I spent $1.50 on covered this whole area. And it was the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen in your life.
Mm.
And I called it my recovery garden. These were the things that people were about to toss away. They saw no value in whatsoever. And all it takes is one person seeing this much value in us and to speak into us. Their recovery can happen, is probable, and that we have value and we're worth it. And there are people like us that got through the same things. And so I knew every time I went out there, that beautiful garden represented who I was today. That ugly, half, three-fourths dead plants represented what I used to be. And that ground gave it the nourishment, the water, the sun that my higher power would provide, and all the protection from the elements, right? And all of a sudden, things started popping up. And every time I walked out there, I thought about it, and I'd plant more. If I'd heard that anybody was about to throw out a plant, I'd say, no, 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 let me have it. And so it was just a way for me to give back to nature.
Yeah.
And to have a conversation piece. So my creativity about how to tell my story, not in a way that gets into the blood and guts and all that horror stuff that, we could definitely sit around a campfire and share those stories for sure.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to start up conversations about life and life after death. And when you are heavy into your unwellness, no matter what it is, I believe that's just about the closest you can be to death. You may still look like a shining star smiling, but your soul is dying. And that's exactly where I was. And
Yeah.
now these beautiful flowers represent that. So I found ways creative ways to express. And it's, whether anybody else thinks it's pretty or not, I don't care. I do. I change the color and the design of my furniture every year. I have furniture that has been in every color of the rainbow, and I get as creative as I want to because it's just paint. You just paint right over it if you don't like it. But it represents newness of life every time I put on paint, whether it's a wall or a piece of furniture. I love taking a piece of furniture that people put on the side of the road and make it beautiful again and give it away.
I love that you brought up the concept that a lot of us were thrown away,
Yeah.
just tossed. And sometimes other people threw us away, and sometimes we threw ourselves away.
Yeah.
You know, but the ability to take that thing that nobody else wanted, right? That person that had been so affected by being tossed away, and using that to make something beautiful. And that's what I love about recovery. We share that every day. We share our garden every day, and that's what I love about it. Nobody is thrown away. Once you get into recovery, you just can't tolerate that anymore. Because we know what that feels like. And the beauty that comes in someone seeing us and hearing us and being able to say, me too.
Yeah.
Right. That is the beautiful thing about recovery. And then to grow. We grow with each other. We grow as a result. Like Lisa said, we grow as a result of the group of people we hang around. We grow as a result of how we feel about the person in the mirror.
Yep.
I love the beauty of it, and I love that you can take those things because that's so representative to me. I love that you can do that, that you do that so often, and you do that with more than furniture and plants, darling.
Thank
Just want
you.
to let you know that.
Thank you.
Let's see. Sandy says, "Yep, I feel the same way. What are they going to do to me?" I think she's talking about being an older citizen. Like you're,
Yes. Yeah. I'm right with her. What they gonna do with us?
there ain't pastors, so they can't put us out to it.
That's right.
All right. What was your main struggle in the beginning of recovery?
People telling me that this wasn't about my son, it was about me. Right. And so, I have grown and I've worked with some parents since I've been in recovery. I've worked with many parents at PRN and through the courts in Mecklenburg County. And man, I just see me in them so much because they come in swinging and fighting. We ain't going to tell a mama nothing about their baby. And I think we're one of the hardest nuts to crack, right? Because as a mom, I don't know anything other than to take care of my children. I don't even remember my life before Joe. I don't even remember. I remember highlights of some high school stuff, some college days. But other than that, I became a mother I had 2 children at the age of 23. So I started really young. So I don't even remember my life before my children. And as soon as I'm an only child. I didn't even know what it was like to be around kids. I didn't like kids. I didn't babysit kids. I don't even know why I thought I could be a mama. I didn't even, but there was something about that that's what I fell into. So I didn't know. So when I went in and I started hearing what this whole recovery thing was about, every time myself or other newcomers would try to bring up our person because in our family disease, very lovingly and gently, we were shut down. And I kept thinking, well, I came here to hear the tricks and all the different skills that people gain to save my child. What the hell am I doing here? I don't need recovery. He does. So that was probably the most difficult time that I had. And for me, I'm a quick learner. especially when I am so tired of what I got going on, right? And so it wasn't but 2 or 3 weeks of going to meetings. And Sharon, you challenged me to try, I think, a minimum of 3 meetings a week. If I could get in more, get in more. And I lived at the time in the area. I really could do that in the Fort Mill area, South Carolina. So we had a lot of meetings, and I went 3 days a week. I even went on the weekends. I found a different meeting on Sunday, and doing that for 2 or 3 weeks straight, got through this old hard head, and I began to close my lips, open my ears as a newcomer should, to really breathe in what's going on, because we've been trying to control this damn thing for so long. And I didn't have to control anything. All I needed to do is come in there and sit and really embrace all that. And I struggled with that for a while. I know they love me through it because, I'm a pretty out loud person. And my passion for my son is very deep. And so can't imagine my life without him. I can imagine my life without him now.
Mm-hmm.
It would be hard, and it makes me want to cry to think about it. But I had to learn that. And the more I heard mothers, grandmothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters sit in there with me and share about who they were now in recovery. And if they asked me who I was, I couldn't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Joe's mom,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so that's what I struggled with in the beginning. And I'm glad I hung in there. I'm glad I hung in there and learned that Joe might have got me to the room, but Joe is not why I stay in the
Mm-hmm.
room. Joe is not why I get up every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and dig into my recovery work. And I bring a 6:30 early bird special on Monday, Wednesday, Friday to Facebook Live. He is not why I do that. I do it for my own recovery, for my own strength and walk. And I now can see my life outside of my children. And that was the hardest thing, to realize that that's where I had to get to, because I didn't think that was even natural,
Or
right?
possible.
Or possible.
Yeah.
But those ladies and those men and those grandmas in that room showed me. They could show me better than they could tell me. And those are some serious people in recovery, a mama, daddy, and a grandma, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so grateful for those rooms, because that I was a struggle. I was a little beast there in the beginning.
It's all about control,
Yeah.
and I started out in 12 step in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I went to Al-Anon as well later on, and it wasn't until I went to Al-Anon that I really began to dig into that control,
Mm.
those those tendencies, because it is about trying to manipulate someone
Yeah,
into being what we want them to be.
exactly.
And we ain't God.
Yeah.
I got to remember that. I
Yeah.
ain't God
Nope.
today. God ain't called and asked me what I think about something,
Nope.
you know. So,
Nope.
what did you use? Your strength is so amazing, Lisa. Where do you think that comes from? Where do you think you got your strength from?
Well, I will tell you, 19 years ago, the most unimaginable thing happened to me. I lost my 12-year-old daughter, in a very tragic way. And you know that story. And a lot of people on this chat right now that are watching know my story. Um, and I often wondered then, Sharon, where that strength came from. Um, Even in those hours of having to face what we were facing, not only losing our daughter, but what was going on and with my son. And all I grew up in religion.
Uh huh.
And in my own little Lisa K way, when I was a little girl, I did begin to have a relationship with my God of my understanding. My God didn't necessarily look like the God that people talked about in the Southern Baptist Church. And I always was different like that. So I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to get in trouble and get that mouth popped. But I always was different around God and what I understood. I heard the preacher differently. I read it differently. And I'm so thankful for that because that really came flying home to me when I began that I wanted a different life and I wanted to embrace myself in recovery. And when we jumped into the 12 steps and we started digging in about the God of our understanding, that was very easy for me. I ran to my God of my understanding like I was a kid again. And
Oh, wow.
because I did that and I reintroduced myself uh, and started really listening and reading. My higher power has always been there for me, but I just turned around and wasn't trusting, and I tried to control things. And so I am really grateful that I was blessed as a young kid. I had some great mentors in my life who worked with me as a kid because I was very interested in God. My first career, my first education is in Christian education. I have a bachelor's in that, and I dove deep into, and I always got in trouble in the Old Testament and the New Testament classes in the Bible. Went to Gardner Webb University, a little bit conservative over there, and I would get in trouble. But man, it challenged me to dig deep. And so when I got in recovery, that whole God thing, I could grasp that, and I
Yeah.
couldn't wait to run to the God of my understanding and to actually see it a little differently now, more of a person through recovery eyes. And now I was starting to see that I was trying to be God. I never thought about myself trying to be God, but that's
Uh-huh.
exactly what I was doing. And that I didn't have to do that, that my God was big enough and he knew what was going on. And I needed to get out of his way for my son as well as for myself. So, that was amazing for me. My spiritual awakening came really quickly. Um, According to my sponsor, she never had anybody kind of go through that as quick as I did. But I really give credit to the work that was done in my young life. And I had some folks in my life that accepted my view of God. And it wasn't necessarily in the Southern Baptist religion. I was drawn to things and people and places that nobody else wanted to be around. And I knew then that somebody prayed somewhere in my family, and I got it, to be able to sit and be with people that nobody else wanted to be with. Or I was the one that picked the run of the litter. I was the one that, when I got into foster care, I wanted the children nobody else wanted, which was the teenage boys. And I said, bring them all, right? And so that is definitely from a higher power. But somebody in my ancestry prayed for a
Mhm.
soul. And I know I was gifted with it. I didn't understand it most of my life. I'm starting to understand it more and more as I become an old woman. But yeah, that was a big deal. And but I could just see myself running to my God and like, I am so sorry I have been lost for so long. And I don't know, like a good champion said today, I don't know a damn thing about recovery. Please help me. You know?
Oh, what a wonderful foundation you have.
Yeah. Yeah. And I am so blessed to have that. It
Yeah.
was helpful. Really was. And
Because
it
so
got in the
many
way
of Go
sometimes. It
ahead.
did get in the way sometimes because no matter how you kind of reject some of that strict religious thing, um, it's embedded in us, right? We
Yeah.
grew up with it. So I had to kind of unlearn some stuff and shake some stuff out and all that good stuff. But hey, I love it. I love
Yeah.
cleaning house. And that means inside of me as well. Because there's
Oh,
still some junk in there that
oh,
needs to
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Always is. But that is so many of us have been hurt in churches, you know, that I love that your experience and your tenacity to want more.
Yeah.
And I am. It shows on you. It shows on you. Your spirituality just oozes from you, Lisa.
Ooze.
Oozes. Hey, I tell you what, Lisa, can you read Holly's? It's I can't quite. I can see the little ones, but the big ones kind of get mushy.
Okay. Is it the one under, hey, Taylor? Taylor's in the house. That's my boy right there. That's right up under Taylor's I am beginning.
Yes.
Okay. So Miss Holly, love Miss Holly. Love you, Miss Bill Holly, up in Pennsylvania, I believe.
Yeah.
That's God, we fell in love with Holly, what, going on 2 years now during the pandemic. She became to be a part of PRN family, and we've never actually got to meet Miss Holly, but man, I'd love to. But Miss Holly brings to us, I'm beginning to not worry so much that people think of, about how I look while struggling with my health. Damaged her appearance. Some say I am lazy, but if they stepped into my body 30 seconds, would not be manageable to them. I see that as my strength and beauty. Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
great beauty. Absolutely. Ooh, I love that. I'm having
Sharon, you're
a good
echoing
time.
again.
Huh?
You're echoing again.
Oh, am I? Oh dear. Oh dear. Um, am I still echoing?
That's weird.
I know. Oh, Eric says the God of my understanding. He'd never heard that before, but he won't forget that. I love the freedom that we have in recovery to choose how we want to believe, how we want to express our spirituality. You know, and yours is a kind of traditional. It started traditional, and then it grew that exciting adventure. You know, and I can see that when you talk about it. I can see your higher power just knowing that you've been blessed just makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, you are echoing really bad. I'm just wondering if there's something actually wrong with your computer.
That could be. That could be. Well, we are actually kind of towards the end. Can you read some more since I'm echoing really bad?
Yeah. So yeah, you're echoing really, really bad. So we got to jump on that tomorrow. So so thank you, Miss Kim. Kim, you're always telling me that I'm strong, and I appreciate that because I'm not always. But you guys inspire me. Miss Holly says you sound like the wizard. And Eric, being his funny, says you sound like God right now with the echo. Yeah, Sandy is saying, got to be the computer, because we had thought Sharon's was having problems at her home with her Wi-Fi because she was getting an echo one night while she was trying to do something on the computer when she went live. So we thought it was her Wi-Fi maybe, but it's definitely your computer. So do you want me to wrap it up with the one about acceptance? All right. So one of the questions Sharon wanted to ask me tonight, and I'm speaking for her since she's got her God voice going on. Do you have any special? No, not that one. What role acceptance plays in my recovery? Well, oh Lord, when somebody introduced me to the Serenity Prayer and broke that thing down to me, and I grasped it, I said, wow, I want that. Right. And part of serenity is that, we know the serenity to accept the things that we can change and let go of the stuff we can't, right? Which is 99% of the stuff. And to be smart enough, wise enough to know the difference. And I said, I want that. So as I've dug into my acceptance and my recovery, I actually got a taste of serenity. And I have been telling on Just for Today for some time now. It's like it's like the best drug ever, to taste serenity. And I've gotten to put it into play many times. My son is still struggles with addiction. He is currently incarcerated. He's in prison. He's not at the county jail right now. This is the first time for us. His addiction has led him in many ways, and so criminal background and addiction for him hand in hand. If you saw his charges, you would just bless his heart, right? It's all around his addiction, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. I can't do anything about that. Um, but love him anyway. So a lot of things have happened for me over the last 7, 8 months, right? Because that's when this kind of went down. So acceptance became real important for me to dive into. So I kind of want to end on this, or wrap it up and see what you guys want to say about it. But I talked about this week that we can hang around. I do have a book right here. I want to be true to it. This is a recovery book, the ODAT. And it's my little Bible. And I can hang around this book all I want to. I can carry it in my pocketbook. I can put it on my arm. I can put it on my pillow. I can just stay in it and read it. But until I start putting it to work, it's just words on a page. So we can stand around the rooms and hold hands and sing Kumbaya and say the Serenity Prayer, and then turn around and walk out and be some of the ugliest people you've ever seen. I watched that and I said, I don't want recovery if that's what it is. If that's serenity, oh no. But then I had people model to me what really serenity was. And so I chased it. And I've grown to realize that serenity is something you got to work on. Acceptance, your acceptance muscle. So you can't just ride by the gym and get in shape. You can't just have a gym membership to Planet Fitness, Lisa, and think you're going to get a rock star body just because you bought one, a membership. You got to get in there and work it. And you got to do that for acceptance. And it's hard work. It is really hard to sometimes to decide what is your business and what ain't your business. When you can figure that out, man, you're going to walk tall, you're going to smile, and you're going to have stuff oozing out of you too, because that's exactly where I am today. I'm not always there. I still get struggles, right? Especially around my children. But getting faced with some stuff, not every day, but a lot, I realize real quickly now because I have worked on that muscle. I just didn't carry this book around. I have dove in it. And you guys that come on Just for Today and share and encouraging me to keep this up. Just for Today ain't about y'all. It's about me. That is my walk. That is my exercise. I got to get to the gym too, pump that blood. But my exercise is getting up those days really, really early and coming on really, really early to do this thing. That's my exercise. So acceptance for me is about the work. If it was really easy to understand and put the Serenity Prayer blanket around us, we wouldn't be, we all would be just healed all the way. It is work. It is not an easy thing to do, to stay out of other people's stuff and realize sometimes it's just the universe. It's already in motion right now, and you can't do a thing about it. You got to figure out where you can jump in. So doing the work, being serious about it. If you're going to go to the dentist because you care about your teeth, you're going to go to the doctor because you care about your heart or your maybe a diabetic or whatever. If you're going to go that far to take care of your body, right, and your eyes and your teeth, why aren't we doing the same thing around our recovery, right? So it is something you got to put on every day. I'm talking every day. I'm talking even on your vacay. For me, that is what has worked for me because that's what I chase now. I don't chase Joe anymore. I don't chase Joe anymore. I can hang the phone up. I can go to bed now and wrap him up in a loving blanket of the God of my understanding and give him to God. And I do that every night because he's an hour away from me and I can't see him or put my hands on him, right? But that's what I can do. And I can go to bed and get a good night's sleep. And I can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and get ready for just for today. Because that is how I'm building my muscle of acceptance and serenity. That's my work. And hopefully there will be something I say or do that somebody can grab a hold of and think about, even if it's just for today, right? So that's my walk around acceptance. And usually when I'm working with somebody or talking with somebody, it's very obvious if they are living the life of the serenity prayer, if they're doing the work of the serenity prayer. You stand out like a sore thumb when you're trying to control everything. But guess what? You don't run shit. You don't run nothing. Once you can accept that, you can live again. You can live again. We got let's see. Eric says, say repent. I don't know why he's telling me to do that. Is he making fun of me, Sharon? I think so. In my country mouth. Miss Holly said, I love the serenity prayer. I made a serenity box for my go-to getting out of my dark places. Absolutely. Oh, I'd love to hear more about that. Holly says she has a recovery Bible since 2008. Love it. Absolutely. And Miss Sandy, Miss Sandy loves my joke. Yes, she does. Yes, Miss Sandy, I know you do, and he loves you too. And you'll be one of the groups of people he'll come see soon, hopefully, and get some recovery loving. Miss Holly says about the serenity prayer for me, though my preteens to present in preservation. Yep. Holly says, thank God I got on tonight. Oh, I needed this. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad, Miss Holly. And Eric says no to Sharon Galuski in her God voice. Yeah, we're gonna get your computer looked at real quick. There's something going on with your speaker. So, but yeah, that's it. So Sharon, unless you know sign language, you want me to sign off? Thank you. And I love you and all those good things, right? Absolutely. But yeah, we'll get Sharon's computer fixed starting tomorrow because she's going to need it. But this was Sharon G will be on December the 22nd. She'll have another guest on, kind of diving into the adventures of recovery in that person's life. So if you're out there and you want to be a part of this, give Sharon a holler and she will talk to you about it, because we're looking for, it's not just staff, it's anybody who's got some adventures in recovery that we can hear about and dig in with. So give us a call if you want to be a part of this conversation. So all right, let's see. Sam Cowden's in the house saying, hey, everybody. Yeah, you late. Yeah, he said he's sorry for being late. And Miss Sandy loves you. And Miss Courtney is in the house too, saying hey to fam. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this thing up. And Sharon has her God voice right now, so she's just going to hold that to herself because she's echoing really bad. But
repent. That's what repent.
He wanted you to say repent because you sound like God. Okay. You want to do it one more time?
Repent.
See, recovery's fun, guys. Even when we have technical difficulties, we can laugh and still have fun. If we weren't in recovery, we'd probably just shut this thing down and be all mad about it and say this was a waste of time. So, and it surely wasn't. And so hopefully we can get this computer fixed tomorrow. But we'll go ahead and tell everybody goodbye for tonight. Hope you'll come on the 22nd. At 6:30 to see what adventures in recovery that Sharon brings to us then. And thank you guys for your kindness to me and your loving words and having fun with us tonight. All right. Bye, guys.